Didn't sound at
formula.
all like Call of Duty. I don't know what I was expecting. I guess more of the same. It does not sound like more of the same.
Yeah. Well, and the setting stuff is really interesting too. This,
That's what has me actually interested for once. I have not played 3 and I have not played Black Ops. So
well,
that's good on their part if they can get me interested.
yeah, and the like the things that they describe, like the core causes of the conflict, I found that to be interesting and really appropriate. My fiance has just read a book, or is just finishing a book, on how growth economies aren't sustainable at all, and one of the things that's brought up is that very same impetus for this conflict, where the resources that are used to make things like LCD screens and all of this great technological stuff that we have, these resources are really finite, and we're expected to run out of them by 2017. There might be a finite cap on how far we can even go technologically at this point, which is terrifying to think of.
So that's where war comes into play.
Yeah, well, it's like Fallout, except that it wasn't about the oil like that we thought it would be. It's not necessarily an energy crisis. We have one of those, and we will continue to have those. But this issue in particular is really going to be pressing. It's gonna change a lot of things.
Yeah, and like Jordan said, this is the first time I actually got excited for a Call of Duty game. Just because it's in the future, like a futuristic Call of Duty is actually really exciting to me because it's new.
Well, they had
Hasn't been
that
done.
one mech looking thing with four
Yeah,
legs. Like, what is that?
I'm just like sold.
Let me
That's
blow it
that's
up.
all I needed.
That tank thing is interesting, though. Oh, that four-footed.
It's like some Star Wars thing.
It
That's what it
looks
looks
like
like to me.
it looks like a pot-bellied pig. It's like someone designed a tank based around the pot-bellied pig. It's a little weird.
And the plane things look like the aircraft from Avatar. That's what it reminded me of.
What was the? I only glanced at this part, but there was something about the way the missions are open-ended or sandboxy. What was that?
Well,
Or is that
yeah,
going too far? Is it not that open?
yeah, it sounded like that. Like you can, it seems like you can just sort of command forces and act in a field commander position to coordinate, and less so much get in there and do the stuff yourself. It sounds like they're opening up strategic options and different ways to play through the missions, which sounds pretty cool.
Hmm.
And then I guess the paths you choose to take, and who lives and who dies, and so forth, and how capable you are of rescuing people. All of that plays into a conclusion, and then on top of that, I guess they're gonna tell you how things might have gone differently at the end as well. So even if you don't want to take the time to do all of that path stuff, you still get to see some of it. Maybe that I like that. I appreciate that, because I probably wouldn't do it more than once.
If it's one of those things where you have to beat it on veteran and not die, yeah, I will
No,
not.
there's no way that's gonna
No
happen.
way I
No.
can do that. So, yeah, this is for a game called Black Ops 2. There's some interesting things to this.
Jordan, what'd you think of Guild Wars?
They did it. They got me to play an MMO, and I liked it.
Ooh.
And that no monthly fee, that really helps.
Yeah, yeah, I'm a big fan of that. I spent a good chunk of my time this weekend playing it. I played a Norn elementalist,
Hmm.
and the elementalists are really pretty fun to play because you have just such a variety of abilities right at the outset. You can your weapons can switch between the four elemental types, and so each weapon is like having four weapons. They all build up their own abilities. You unlock spells, and just like you do with the weapons, the swords, the bows, and all of that. Um, so that's pretty cool. I like that a
Yeah.
lot.
I played as a char engineer. Someone recommended to play the engineer. That was pretty fun. So my guy looks like a pirate. He has an eye patch. So then I got like dual pistols, and then I can throw it on turrets, and that's pretty good. I would maybe stick with that for the full game. I'm not sure, but this is one of those games where you want to actually go and try the different races
Yeah.
and different professions because they're different enough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I was playing the first time I played Guild Wars 2, which was at an ArenaNet event a week prior. I played a human ranger, and that was really pretty dramatically different. I mean, I had a companion animal along with me that was, doing a lot of heavy lifting for me early
Mhm.
on, just in terms of keeping enemies distracted so that I could pick them off from a distance or whatever. Uh, and so playing as the elementalist, I found myself really struggling in a combat sense early on because I didn't have that secondary creature to fall back on. And as soon as I could, I invested in a summoning spell that let me create some temporary companion to use as fodder. Uh,
That's one of the things I like, though, because I also, yeah, I agree that having a companion is key to surviving. But the way death is handled, it's not that big a deal when you die.
it's not. It's really not very punishing to die. It just costs you a little bit of money to
Or
warp back.
yeah, warp back, or you can just, if you manage to finish the kill, you'll be brought back up.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like I'm really dependent on other people a lot of the time, although that did work against me to some extent. One of the personal instances in my quest line, it was like designed, I think, for level 6 or level 8. I was level 14 before I was able to finish it because it was just
The
I
instances are not balanced properly because I had the same thing where I did almost all my instances by myself, and I would be a level or two over what they said to do, and it was still, even with the AI helping me, it was still really tough. So,
yeah.
whereas just the random encounters that pop up that say like, "Hey, everyone, go fight these monsters together," like those were a cakewalk by comparison.
Oh, they were great, except of course when you're on the overflow server, and even the overflow servers were pretty well populated, but there would be that event where it would just be you and like one other person standing there, and like the bears are overrunning the village, and you're
Yeah,
just like,
yeah.
oh shit. And then all of a sudden, there will just be this influx, this accumulation of people who descend on a new event and just wipe it clean off the map. It's really something to see. It's pretty
It's
cool.
they're hilarious. One of my favorite ones was it was in a cave, and there were these troll monsters that kept spawning for maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and there was like 20 of us in this tiny like 5 by 5 space. Just I couldn't even see what was going on. People are dying. I'm constantly reviving other people, killing. There's bodies everywhere. It's just so much fun. And to think that you don't even have to set it up; it just happens. You roll into it. I love
Yeah.
how that works.
Yeah, I would not do well. I mean, it's hard enough to schedule 3 people to do a podcast. I don't
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
how guilds operate. Do these people not have like other? Is this all they do? And if it is, that's awesome. But
I'm kind of glad that you can only play it during these events because otherwise I would not get anything done. I just keep playing this. I think I got to level 19 or 20, and I did all the story quests that they let me. So
wow, I
yeah.
only hit about I think 15, maybe
Uh-huh.
16. Yeah, I think I hit about, yeah, I hit level 16. And towards the last few levels, I spent a lot of time crafting and playing around with that stuff. And that's a really simple, fun system. All of the crafting skills sort of play into each other because they all build things which can then be salvaged for other parts that can be used in other professions. But you can only learn 2 at a time, so there's going to be either a lot of social interaction between crafters. It's going to be really encouraging of that, or you're going to have these people who are just devoting their lives entirely to, getting all of these crafting disciplines sorted.
Did you happen to play any of the PvP?
I actually didn't. I did
Okay.
PvP. I did some of the World versus World stuff a couple of weeks ago,
Mhm.
and there was some PvP also during that event, but I didn't do any as part of the
I
open
I
beta.
did a round of there's just a straight up normal, player versus player. The world versus world, that's what I was really interested in, and I still think it can work as a concept and it's cool, but there's some tweaks they need to do to that. So apparently, melee builds are not viable at all in World versus World. I was ranged, so I don't know, but the way you it's really heavily geared to, or gives the advantage to defenders so much so that it wasn't really fun. And I know you can build like catapults, and we did build a catapult, but even then, we were still attacking a gate for I would say at least 15 minutes before, like constantly attacking it. No one was there guarding it. No one was fighting back, and that's how long it
Wow.
took. Yeah, That's not fun.
It didn't. Okay, see, when I played World versus World the week earlier, breaking down gates took time.
Hmm.
I mean, it was a lengthy process. It wasn't something that, like, just came down, even if we had a lot of people there. But it wasn't like 15 minutes
Right. It
or
was
as you described
really
there.
tedious.
So that's pretty wretched. What I found when we played World versus World actually was that it seemed more balanced in favor of the attackers when I played it. We didn't
Really.
have, there were some things we had to, there was some learning curve stuff we had to figure out. Oh, they're dropping buckets of hot oil on us. We should probably not run into that, and things like that. But once we had sort of a handle on what the defenses were, and we were, I mean, we understood how to build, battering rams and things like that. They would go down in pretty short
I
order.
think maybe we just that maybe the RAM is what we needed because someone was attacking us with one of those and they were pretty effective using that. All that said, I still had a lot of fun just using guerrilla tactics and running around killing supply caravans and taking over smaller bases. That was a lot of fun. So I'm hopeful that they can sort of fix issues if there are issues. Maybe we just weren't very good. I don't know.
So you
Yeah,
said something about a
it's
catapult?
Yeah, you can build like defenses in your castle and catapults. It's
Can
neat.
can you get in the catapult and launch yourself?
I don't think so.
Damn it.
That would be cool. That'd be too ambitious for them.
you could do
I
that
don't
for that
know.
princess.
It's true.
Just, I'm just saying it's been done.
It's been done. Step it up, ArenaNet.
She says, I kicked a keg.